Good morning, dear students. Hope you all are doing well in this lockdown period. I hope you all are making revisions of your concerned subjects for the further examinations. Today I am here with you for making revision of mathematics paper 4 real analysis. Today I want to discuss sequence topic for making better revision. So I am going to giving brief summary on the sequence followed by a theorem. Dear students, what is a sequence? As we discussed in the earlier classes, a sequence is a list of numbers or objects which are in orders. Repetition also may occur. Okay, let us go through the definition of a sequence mathematically. Okay, let S is a non-empty set and S from Z plus to R is called a sequence of real numbers. A sequence can be defined in so many ways. That is, first one, defining a sequence by one or more formulae so that nth term of each n belongs to n can be found. The sequence Sn can be defined like this also. Okay, let us take one example for this. Sn is equal to 1 by root n if I consider means. For n is equal to 1 comma 2 comma and so on. So what will Sn will be? Sn will be 1 comma 1 by root 2 comma 1 by root 3 comma and so on. Second one, defining a sequence by recursion formula or inductive formula. That is, by a formula which express nth term of n minus 1th term. Okay, the sequence Sn is equal to 2n of even numbers can be defined as S1 is equal to 2 and Sn plus 1 is equal to Sn plus 2. Now let us take third definition of a sequence. S1 is equal to 1 and S2 is equal to 1 and Sn plus 2 is equal to Sn plus 1 plus Sn for all n greater than or equal to 1. This can be written as S3 is equal to S2 plus S1 which is equal to 1 plus 1 which is equal to 2 and S4 is equal to S3 plus S2 which is equal to 2 plus 1 which is equal to 3 and so on. Finally, so what is S1? S1 is equal to 1 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 5 comma 8 comma and so on. This is called as Fibonacci sequence. There are so many ways of defining a sequence, but by the lack of time we are unable to discuss all the definitions. Further we'll get all those by practice. Now, constant sequence. The sequence Sn defined by Sn equal to C belongs to R is called a constant sequence. Now, let us discuss operations of sequences. Let us consider two sequences Sn and Tn. Then, sequence addition is possible. That is, Sn plus Tn can be written as set of Sn plus Tn. And sequence multiplication also possible. Sn into Tn. After that, sequence division also possible. Sn is one of the sequence and Tn is another sequence. Then Sn by Tn is also possible. Okay. After that, Sn is one of the sequence. Then 1 by Sn is also possible as we discussed earlier. So 1 by Sn is known as the reciprocal of the sequence. Okay. If we consider a C belongs to R, that is C is a real number. If you multiply C with the given sequence, then it will convert it as set of C into Sn. Okay. And another operation is if you multiply a sequence with a negative value, then the sequence will become minus of something into Sn. So that is known as the negative of the sequence. Okay. After that, subsequence. So as you know, what is a subset? All of you know how to write a subset. A sequence, for a sequence, a subsequence can also be written in the same way as we discussed here. If Sn is a sequence and Nr is a sequence of positive integers, such that n1 less than, n2 less than, n3 less than and so on, then the sequence SNR is known as the subset of the subsequence. Okay, it is known as the subsequence. Okay, now range of the sequence. So range of the sequence means in a sequence the number of elements in a sequence, okay, is known as the range of the sequence. For example, if you consider your classroom, okay, so your classroom, how many members will be there in the classroom? That is the range of your range of the sequence. Okay. Now, boundedness of a sequence. To discuss boundedness, we have to discuss about bounded above and bounded below of a sequence. Okay. Let us explain this with one simple example. Let us consider your classroom. In your classroom, elder ones will be there and younger ones will also be there. Okay. So elder one will be the elder compared to all the members of your class. Okay. And younger one will be the younger compared to all the members of your class. Okay. Now let us discuss bounded below. Bounded below means if I consider the younger one, he is some k. Okay. That k is less than Sn or less than or equal to Sn. So k is known as the bounded below of the sequence, and k is only less than in your class, but he is not lesser than entire world. So in the world so many younger ones will be there. So in all younger ones, the younger one will be in your class. Okay. So the greatest lower bound is known as infimum. Okay. Now upper bound. Okay. Again you consider elder one in your classroom. He is some k dash. Okay. That k dash, that person is elder than all the members of your class. So Sn is less than or equal to k dash. Okay. So Sn is less than or equal to k dash. Then what we can say, the k dash is elder one. So k dash is the upper bound. He is only upper bound of your class, not the entire world. So in the world, so many out of your class, so many elder ones will be there. So in all the elder ones, he is the smaller elder one. So the upper bound, least upper bound. So least upper bound means supremum. Okay. In a sequence, there exist both lower bound and upper bound. That is, k is less than or equal to Sn is less than or equal to k dash. Then the sequence Sn is known as the bounded. Okay, the sequence Sn is known as bounded. Okay, so now let us discuss the limit of a sequence. The limit of a sequence is the value that the term of a sequence tends to. Okay. Let us go through the mathematical definition of a limit of a sequence. Okay. Let Sn be a sequence and L belongs to R. L is said to be limit of a sequence Sn if for each epsilon greater than 0 there exists some positive integer, so m belongs to z plus, such that mod Sn minus L is less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to m. We also say that the sequence Sn converges to L belongs to R. If the sequence Sn has the limit L, then we write the Sn tends to L as n tends to infinity, or limit Sn is equal to L or limit Sn is equal to L. Okay. Now let us discuss the convergence of a sequence. The convergence of sequence is defined as for epsilon greater than 0 there exists a positive integer m belongs to z plus such that mod Sn minus L less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to m. That is, as n is tending to infinity, the sequence Sn is tending to L. It is also written as limit n tends to infinity Sn equal to L. That is, the sequence Sn is converges to L. So the sequence Sn is known as the sequence Sn is converges. Otherwise, it is diverges. Okay. Let us understand briefly about the definition by doing some theorems. Okay. Let us go through a theorem. Let us discuss a theorem. Prove that every convergent sequence is bounded. Okay. Before going to prove this theorem, let us discuss the definition of convergence again with a simple example. Let us consider your classroom. What is the attendance of your classroom today? Today, 95% of people are listening this class and 5% are absent. So, we are not bothering about that 5%. We are only concentrating on that 94% people. And those 95% people are listening this class. So, those are converging to one particular limit. What is their limit? They are listening the class. Okay. So, this is known as the convergence. Now, let us prove this theorem. Okay. So, for proving this theorem, let us consider a convergence sequence. So, in a convergence sequence, there exists a limit L. So, let Sn is a sequence. Then, L is the limit of the sequence. Then, limit Sn equal to L. By the definition, for epsilon greater than 0, there exists a positive integer m belongs to z plus such that mod Sn minus L less than epsilon. That is, the Sn is in between L minus epsilon to L plus epsilon. For our convenience, let us take epsilon is equal to 1. So, L minus 1 less than Sn less than L plus 1. The sequence Sn is in between L minus 1 to L plus 1. So, here we are only taking the 95% people's result. Now we are considering only this 95%. But 5% are absent. So, in this 95%, the lower bound is L minus 1 and upper bound is L plus 1. But in the absentees, that is the people who are standing outside, that is S1, S2 and so on, Sm, in those also lower bound will be there and upper bound will be there. So, let us consider some K1 is equal to minimum of S1, S2 and so on, Sm plus Sm minus 1 comma L minus 1. Okay. So, Sm minus 1 comma L minus 1, in these all members we are taking minimum, that is K1. Similarly, we are taking K2 is the maximum of S1, S2 and so on, Sn comma L plus 1. Okay. So, we are getting lower bound of entire sequence. Okay. And we are getting the upper bound of entire sequence. So, the sequence Sn is bounded in between K1 and K2 as you are seeing here. So, the sequence K1, the sequence S1 is in between K1 and K2. Hence, the sequence is bounded. So, every convergent sequence is bounded, hence proved. So, I am giving an assignment to you, that is, what about the converse of this theorem? Okay. Okay students, today I am leaving now and again we'll meet in another class for discussing few more topics in the sequence. Until you have to finish the assignment what I gave, and you have to submit that before 9 AM tomorrow. Okay, take care, bye.